OOP's parents' poly partner tries to parent OOP, and luckily one parent still has OOP's back. I am not OP. OP is UAITA polyparents. Original post. My 16F parents, 36 each, became poly 4 years ago. They came to me and explained what it meant to be that. They've been dating the same person, Madison, 27F, for the past 3 years, and she moved in with us 2 years ago. She's overall an okay-ish person, but she's very much into being some kind of cool mom, which she will never be for me. My parents' relationship with Madison is very serious. Both of my families know her, and while not everyone accepts her as a real part of their marriage, they're okay with her too. For me, she's more like a roommate my parents love rather than a parent figure or someone I have to listen. My dad's is okay with her trying to discipline me, but my mom is not. Well, 2 days ago my boyfriend walked me home and I invited him to have a piece of cake since my mom's birthday was the day before and he couldn't come. He said yes and we went inside, and that's honestly everything we did. Madison came an hour after and we were still in the kitchen, eating and watching TikToks together. I had my head on his shoulder and we were just chilling. She saw us and began to act very weird. She said hi and drank a glass of water. But after 10 minutes she just stood there pretending to watch her phone. But it was pretty obvious she was watching us. My boyfriend felt uncomfortable and he said his goodbyes. When Madison and I were left alone, she approached me saying it wasn't okay for me being alone with a boy at 16 and that she would appreciate I don't do it again. I was honestly shocked. My parents know my boyfriend pretty well, and more than that, they know me. And I would never betray their trust by doing something I'm not allowed yet just because I was alone. She wanted to keep talking, but I cut her off and said that she had no right to try to give me the talk, and she wasn't my parent in any form to try to parent me or give me unsolicited advice. She said she was just trying to help me, but I said she better not, and any concern she had, she could talk it to my real parents, and if they see it fit, they will talk to me. But just because she was dating them both didn't make her mommy too, and I went to my room. This morning, while my dad drove me to school, he said Madison talked to both of them and my mom decided she overstepped. But that he agreed with her and he would appreciate a heads up when my boyfriend and I are alone, and that if it was okay for me, I could apologize. But I said I didn't feel like it, and he said he was disappointed. Update. ETA. I have a lot of message. Thank you everyone for worrying about me. I'm fine. I'm answering everyone right now and letting them know about the update. As I said, I did notice yesterday that my post was down. But I was honestly so tired that I fell asleep as soon as I could. Sorry for worrying you. Hello. I'm sorry for not posting or saying anything anymore yesterday. Per my last update, around 5 p.m. my mom got home, and 30 or so later I asked my dad and her if we could talk. Madison was at the gym, so we just sat on the couch and I was honest. I told my mom what my dad had said in the morning ride, and I confessed to my dad that it was unfair. That just because Madison thought that it was improper of us, my BF and I, to be alone in the house, he suddenly changes the game. I've always been completely honest with them, and I reminded them so. I said that, as soon as we got home, I sent them a text telling them that I was already here and that my BF was over. And he said nothing there. I also told them that I didn't feel comfortable with Madison living here and that maybe I never was. But I was so young to understand what it really meant to have poly parents, and while I don't really care for their romantic life, ever since Madison snitched on me had made me feel like walking over eggshells in my own house. And that my dad saying he was disappointed felt like Madison matters more than me in the house. I've always been a loner. Always. I spend time with my parents. Yes. But I love to be alone in my room. In the kitchen. In the living room doing my own stuff. I've never had to hide for anything. But Madison proved that whatever she doesn't like or she thinks I shouldn't be doing, she'll spy and tell, and it wasn't fair. Because while Madison is nothing to me and his opinion doesn't matter, I've proved to them that I can be trusted and that I don't do things like that behind their back. While saying that, my voice cracked, and my dad came to my side and hugged me, saying that he was so sorry and that I was right. He apologized again for the way he acted in the car and that he should have never said he was disappointed because he wasn't, that he couldn't have asked for a better kid, and that he felt so bad for hurting me to the point I had to talk to them alone. He hugged me and my mom just looked at him and said they had to talk to Madison alone, because she has said countless of times that she doesn't appreciate her giving advice, or thinking she was some kind of responsibility over me. She also said that I never ever have to walk on eggshells here because this is my house and will forever be my house. And if I didn't act shamefully, then I don't have to be ashamed, and gave me a kiss on the forehead. She asked me to call my BF so they could apologize to him too, and gave us some money to go to Starbucks for a few hours, and so we did. I honestly don't know everything that happened between them and Madison, but my dad said that he was tired of having to please to women in his life, and that whatever right he did for mom was a wrong for Madison and vice versa, and that for a while he has wanted to break that relationship but wasn't sure if my mom wanted to, because despite not agreeing in parenting choices, my mom loved her a lot and it showed. But my mom said she was done too, and they will be attending couples counseling and see where it gets them. They also gave Madison 2 weeks to move out, but she was already packing when I got home and she went to stay with her parents. She glared at me once and apart from that, didn't even look at me again. So I guess there's that. That's the update. My parents broke up with Madison and I got to talk to them. It's really weird not having her around, but I really like it. My mom read the post and some of the responses. My dad decided not to since everything was settled. After reading the post, my mom also apologized for bringing Madison in with me so young, and while I said I didn't really mind, she said sorry. Thanks everyone for your support. My dad's is okay with her trying to discipline me, but my mom is not. Right off the bat, this had me mildly concerned. That's kind of a big thing to disagree on. What the hell were they thinking? They weren't. A story where almost everyone acted like adults in the end. Is this real life? Why does a 27-year-old think she can parent a 16-year-old? Thanks for posting this. I saved it for the final update, but it got removed so it was lost from the archive. The irony of Madison being scandalized by Oop putting her head on her boyfriend's shoulder when she has been sleeping with OOP's parents and living in the same house as their child. I'm actually super shocked that the dad came around. At least the parents finally realized what a disaster this situation was and made actual steps to change it. I was not optimistic when I saw this before the update. Just a thought here. I know everyone is already arguing about parents and Madison being in a poly relationship versus being a weird sex thing. And yes, poly isn't a kink or sex thing. But parents in their mid-30s with a teenage kid decide to date and move in their 24-year-old girlfriend? That sounds like a sex thing and not an equal relationship. At the very least, the parents made bad choices for their family and poly relationship. Poly seems to require a lot of solid communication and effort from all parties. And that didn't happen here. Also, even single parents shouldn't move their new, much younger, close in age to child partner into the home they share with their kid. either. All of this is so weird. So it sounds like no one really addressed the totally bonkers idea that it would be inappropriate or shameful for a 16-year-old to have sex with her boyfriend. Her parents have the most bizarre and intense sex issues. I was wondering if the dad would ever pull his head out of Madison's ass. That poor teenager should never have had to deal with that. I would never betray their trust by doing something I'm not allowed yet just because I was alone. So she's explicitly forbidden from having sex? I personally don't have an issue with them being poly, but how many sex lives must they control? 16 is a really normal age to be having sex. Forbidding it is how you end up grandparents. Really hypocritical grandparents. Oof. Pretty rich of the parents to get their rocks off in three-way relationship. But if the op who is legally old enough has her BF over, then that's a problem. Poor kid having to grow up too fast because of her FD up parents. Why would they move her into the house? What I find so odd is that OOP's parents somehow think that OOP will do something shameful with her boyfriend, but have no such morals when it comes to their own sex life. Does anyone else find that odd? Or is it just me? LMAO, did Madison think they would choose her over their own child? What a joke. So happy for OP and her parents. This poor kid. That's awful. Also, WTF was Madison's problem? Pearl clutching over OOP having her head on her BF's shoulder while unsupervised. When she's living in her home and banging both her parents. This is just pure selfishness on the part of OOP's parents. They wanted to have a poly relationship that is up to them. But they are parents. And that should be their first responsibility until their kid can take care of themselves. Did they not consider how big a change this was for their daughter, who was only 12, to move their new shared partner into their home? Why wasn't her role discussed? Why does their sex partner have to be part of their child's family? Maybe they did care about her, but as soon as she became inconvenient, they got rid of her pretty quickly. 2 weeks notice. I'd be giving a partner I love more time than that to move out, because I'd want them to be settled and okay. In the original post there was a comment about Madison age where, if you're not old enough to have given birth to the person, you're not old enough to be parenting them. I can't help but feel bad for Madison. She was only 23. Edit. She was 25. Thank you to the commenter. S. Who did the math for me? When she moved in, how old was she when the parents started talking to her? I don't think anyone is a terrible person here, but I think they really should have thought things through. In my opinion, OOP and Madison were too young for this situation, especially given the ages and stages of life the parents were in. Dad was thinking with his dick but trying to blame mom for not wanting to get rid of Madison. Come on, dude. We know it was you.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.